Video 17. Hi, all. It's all good, right? We're getting through. And if you don't have anything else going on today, why would you not want to spend it with me? Really? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. But it's good. We're learning some stuff today, so that's good. I hope. Um, Next step. You ready? Rectangle. Let's rock and roll. Hey, we talked about guides, didn't we? And don't be afraid to utilize guides for this as well. So what I can do here, you ready? I'm going to do this. We were just talking during break about utilizing the inside stroke, right? Now I'm going to do a command semicolon. Just make sure that my guides are showing because mine actually happen to be hidden. There we go. So if you're dragging a ruler and you're finding that your guides are not there, it's just because they're hidden, right? So command semicolon. There we go. So check it out. I created a simple guide, right? How awesome is that? Now I'm going to get into my rectangle tool. Do we remember that is an M or L? Let's give it a try. I'm going to do L and see what happens. Oops, shit, that's circle. M. Cool, that's our rectangle. All right, so we know M is a rectangle. Or of course you go up here and grab your rectangle. Now, what I'm going to do here, all hover over top, intersect. See that? How beauty. That's your command U, smart guides, or view smart guides. Yeah. So what I want you to do is go here, guide, intersect. Perfect. That should snap and take you right there. Okay. I'm not going to do another guide for here. I'm hoping we can pull that to a point where we're real happy with. Now, command Y. Notice what happened here. Command Y, because the last thing that I touched was a guide, right? In Illustrator, it remembers the last instance that you touch. Meaning, if I touch this circle and then I make a square, check it out. Neat, eh? Try that with me. Command, select on this circle, let go of command, draw a square. Note, it remembers the last thing I touch. If I touch a guide and I go and draw, check it out. It literally does no fill, no stroke because the last thing that I touched was literally a guide. Isn't that neat? You're like, yeah, okay. What I mean by that, it is kind of neat, especially if you're drawing and you're working away and you're like, oh man, I really just need to do this colorway. You can literally go click, get back into it, start drawing, and you have that colorway. You know what I mean? So it can be really handy for sure. Now, I'm just gonna go up and lock my guides down. So that was view guides lock, okay? Let me just get rid of these to kind of, I was just showing you that. Now, sorry, let's go here and use the eyedropper. You ready? I'm not gonna, the eyedropper, you ready? Short key. This is an easy one, hopefully. I, boop. How nice is that? Yes? Command, black arrow. Select. Let go of command. Bring up our eyedropper. Click. Oh yeah. Now, notice what happened with the eyedropper, all. It remembered that my stroke was on the inside or on the split, the difference, right? The middle of the object. So what I'm going to do here is hit my tab key, bring back my stroke so I can see it. And I'm going to do, let's see if we can't do the stroke to the inside, which is right here in our stroke palette, and click on it. Whoop. All right. Now Command Y. Oh, that's like bang on, isn't it? That's nice. Okay. So that works. We'll use that, sure. Few more squares, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do command, black arrow, click, command option, click and drag. As I'm dragging, hold shift. And I want to get it somewhere close, like so. Okay, good. Command Y. Let's have a look at it in outline. Command one more time, that'll bring up our boundaries. Okay, so command, hover over top. If it doesn't show up right away, don't stress, just kind of move your mouse around. There we go. Click, hold down shift. Nice. So now holding down shift and rotating, you'll notice we'll do 45s. It's kind of handy, right? Good. Command one more time. Command and Option. Hold down those two together. Command, Option, Shift. All three. To center. And let's get that right on like so. And if you're like, dude, I didn't get that, then just do it manually. Just grab and drag like this, okay? Done. All right, let's do that one more time using the main rectangle since it's already over there, right? Actually, try this with me. You ready? Let's do a double duplicate. Command, arrow, select on these two objects all at the same time. See that? Now remember, we're in outline mode, so you need to be selected right. Notice your smart guides will tell you you're on path, which is what you want. Command, Option, click and drag. Hey, check it out. So now what I've done is I've actually duplicated multiple. So I went ahead and I created both, right? And that just gets me so I can go here and here, right? If that's confusing for you, don't stress. Let's just do it one at a time. But you can do multiple, right? You can do a whole lot of them, right? Grab, make a duplicate of it, right? At any time. Option, Command, Option, click. Instant duplicate, right? Anyway, so back at it, sorry, Command Y. Let's get this somewhere close to center. Oh shoot, don't do that. Notice what happened? I accidentally had all of my objects selected and I went to bump the object over and now all of my objects were moving. Don't do that. So we want to click off of the objects, then click back into that main object. Just, it's good these things happen, right? Because, yeah, it happens. So I'm going to go in here. Again, I'm kind of making it from the outside perimeter. So I'm going to go there, right? You can try from center if you want. And that looks pretty good. One more time, Command, Option, drag over, hold Shift. Get that right to the center. Command, Option, Shift, drag in. And that didn't work very well. So I'm just going to go here and manually grab those pulleys. And we'll just put it in place like so. That looks pretty good. Now remember, we are to the outside. So this is great exercise. This is where the eyedropper tool is really handy, everyone. Because now I can go select, eyedrop, click. Awesome. Eyedrop. So Command, click, eyedrop. Now, yes, we've duplicated it, but remember, it takes the stroke and it has actually applied it again to the center, which is not what we wanted, which we did for the first one over here. So now what we can do is try this. Let's go Shift or Command, select on the object, Shift, click. So I have two objects. I'm going to do that inside with both of those selected. See that? So you can do it with multiple objects selected as well. So if I were, just for example, if I were to take all of these objects and I wanted the stroke to be to the outside, awesome. Select on all, stroke to the inside, stroke to the outside. Neat, eh? So you can, of course, do it to multiple objects as well at any time. So that being said, don't want that. I'm going to undo. And I'm going to go back and eyedrop and eyedrop. Now I just need to select on those two as mentioned and to the inside. And now we're done with those guys. And let's have a look. Command Y. Ah, that's nice. It's interestingly enough, all like at Adidas, when I had people doing their drawing tests, because I'd have people do a drawing test, we actually had a spot the difference test as well. Kind of like going to the bar, you know, and playing like that photo game. Same deal. And the reason we do it is because we have to check our work. We had, not only did we complete the work, but then someone had to double check it before it went to print. Checking your work is such an integral part of the saving money portion, because if nobody checked work and it went to print, you can imagine how much wasted jerseys go out the door. Just by having a second set of eyes look at your work, yes, it took forever. No one liked checking. It was the most boring job. But, oh man, we must have saved thousands upon thousands of jerseys and dollars just by having someone double check our work for us, right? Just a fail safe. It's nice. And then it always fell on the checker too, which is like, dude, it's the artwork. It's a person doing it. Anyway, So there we go. We've got shapes. We're ready to move on. Let's go into our next one, which is the polygon tool. Okay. You ready? Go here. I'm going to start moving ahead here fairly quick. Okay. So keep up and we'll get it done. Polygon tool is here. Now, this is a triangle though, isn't it? That's okay. Check it out. Polygon is really neat because clicking will allow us to give certain amount of sides. Yes? So in this case, I want 3 sides, don't I? So I'm going to hit 3 and I'm going to hit OK. Awesome. Instant triangle. Kind of neat, yes? Now, this is really cool. They just updated this tool and I want to show it to you now. I just figured this out the other day and I'm like, when did they have this? Notice there is a plus and minus with the polygon tool. I was blown away. If you click and add, you can automatically add sides on the fly. How freaking cool is this? Brand new, or at least new as in like very recently. Anyway, I wanted to show that to you. Let's just get this done. Triangle. All right, we're just going to use, I'm holding command down now and all I'm going to do is I'm going to place that like so. And I'm going to do the split the difference on this. If you want to try to the outside, you can. Okay, but I want us to practice the split the difference because when we're drawing with the pen tool, right, we want to split difference typically. And maybe not, maybe we do the outside. Anyway, it's all good. Now, this is a square, isn't it? So really 4-sided polygon. There we go. So you can use your square tool if you want, but all I did there was I clicked 4 sides, okay? You can, of course, if you wanted to duplicate it and try to use that neat little plus and minus, you can try that. Click it here, 5. Okay, good. Bring it down, right? Now I'm gonna hold Option, Command, Option, and Shift, and just bring that in like so. That's pretty good, actually, right? So again, I'm just getting close, right, to the center. But as long as you're fairly close, you should be able to get fairly accurate, right? Because that will then center it right to where we clicked. Option and Shift will work because it'll allow you to do just anyway. It's all good. Let's do that. Let's get it done. Looks good? Looks good. Everyone's got a multi-sided. We just went through, clicked, added as we went, laced them up like so. Good. Let's move on. Let's get the star tool on. Star tool's fun. 4-pointed star. Click. 4. Okay. Okay. Now, look at how big this got. All right. So that's not cool, right? Sorry. Click. We may want to just bring that default down slightly. Radius 4. Why is that so big? Oh, there we go. Actually, that's not cool. Maybe I'll manually do it and see if that fixes it. Okay. Try that. Click. And yes, perfect. Right? So there we go. 4-point star. Right? So notice, did you check out what I did there all? If you find that you have a shape and it's defaulting to something like this, the next time you go to use that tool, it will create a shape that size. That can be a real pain in the arse, right? So if I wanted to even get close to an object, right? So say something like this, right? Now with that the way it is, clicking and trying again, it will then make it that size. If you've ever get a default where it's like whacked out, then you can't fix it that way, okay? So that was just a 4-point star. The default should be fine. We should all have something close to that, hopefully. There's a really neat thing that you can do with the star tool, actually, aside from multiple points on it, of course. Again, should I show it to you? You're like, can we just get through the exercise? You have corner radiuses up here, okay? Now, in order to get there, though, you need to select on the white arrow. Now we're gonna get to rounding corners in a second, but check out your corners that are right here. If you wanna key in on this or you wanna come back to this video at another time, this is really cool. It allows us for different type of angles within a star, meaning how that interacts with itself, okay? Different corner radius. So check this out. Just by selecting and going into my corners, I can create a gear instead. See that? How neat. And that was literally just by grabbing onto my, my corners, changing the radius type. Anyway, use it, don't use it, it's there. And it works really neat, of course, with multiple points, not so much for the 4, but it would be really cool. Maybe we'll try it with one of the others. Let's get going here though. We'll go here and let's click, lay it down. And we have 5-point star. Good, right? That looks good. And then what I'll do is I'll just rotate it. Okay, get it close. So I'm gonna rotate these, get it in place. Can be a little cumbersome, tedious. Maybe I'd use the pen tool even. Nah, yeah, this is a full star. It's a good start. There we go. Something like that is okay, all right? Doesn't, again, I just need it to be somewhere close and get it on there. Actually, I found that the actual rotation was a little out of whack because I did have it right on before. 5, what are we at, 6? Good. And hopefully some of us are finding that it's popping right in for us. I think because I reset my defaults, I did some wacky shit. That's okay. So we'll go here. I'm just holding Option or Command, just the Command key, and just get it close. Yeah, that looks pretty good. If you want to try it to the outside, if you find that's more accurate, you can do that as well. You just need to be aware of, and this is 8, I believe. 7, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, it's 8. Just looks wacky when it's not rotated. There it is. Okay, it's good. Now this one, as mentioned, if I were to go in and try that corner radius, this is really neat because I go corners, change it to hard corner like so. And then you can go in here, sorry, do it again. There we go. And we have like instant gear, right? How cool is that? All from just a star. And we created like real custom graphic, right? Anyway, use it, don't use it, but it's there. That's the corner radius. And yes, I know, very specific. You need to be on the white arrow, but. Okay, good. Get it close all, okay? Might take a while. Again, my defaults did something wacky because it's not this difficult usually. Here, let me try this one more time. I'm still doing it. Okay, that's fine. Now, Command Y. Orange, all orange. You guys might have different colors, right? Multiple change. Command, select, right? Command, black arrow, marquee select. I key, eyedropper, or eyedropper. Select, or select. Let's get it kind of a medium size. There we go, right? Cool. So these all look like they're pretty well the same stroke size, aren't they? So that being said, let's go in. It looks actually like they're about maybe another point or two larger in my case. Notice because of the eyedropper that I took from, notice how I had the stroke to the inside. Oopsie, so maybe it wasn't the fact that the stroke is wrong, it just happens to be where it's falling on the object. So what I'm gonna do is change that now to middle. Oh, that's better. And then have a look at it. 6, I think we're probably closer to 5, right? There we go. All right, so I did an overall change to 5. Shoot, I'm wondering maybe even 4. Okay. Command Y, Command Y, Command Y. Good. You ready? Let's try to use the eyedropper tool here. Click. Command Y. So select on that square. Yes. Eyedropper. Click. Awesome. Go over here. Command. Click on the polygon. Let go of Command. Eyedrop. Now what you'll notice, as per before, is it will fill it in, right? So that's not what we want. Well, we do want it filled, but we want that stroke to be applied to it as well, don't we? So let's try this one more time. Select on the object, and I want you to drag this color down to create that stroke color. Bring the stroke forward, add in a little bit of dark, and let's increase that. Nice. That looks good. Okay. Do the same thing for the green one. So green fill, drag drop, add a bit of black. Now keep in mind, in this case, I have the fill. That's okay, right? We can swap it like so. Swap, swap. Or that's actually Shift X. If you want to try Shift X, that will literally swap your fill and stroke. That's a nice short key as well. But for now, swap, swap, good. Let's go here because you can't really see it very well. You're like, thanks for the video. I can't see anything. There we go, right? And then we'll just go boop, boop, boop. Where were we at? I think 4, right? That looks pretty good. So now we have those, Command Y. Ah, that's better, right? Now what we can do is select. So Command, right? Command select, let go, eyedrop. Command select, let go, eyedrop. And then we're done. That's it all. Command S, let's see. So we've got 2 shapes, a circle, an ellipse, another ellipse, and then type. We'll go through this really quick, okay? What I'd like you to do is start with the rectangle tool. Let's go in. For this, as mentioned, see if you can't split the difference. Start there and drag a rectangle in like so. Good. Remember, it takes the last instance. We happen to be on this one, right? That's okay. We've got a red with a dark, right, on there. Gradient. Now, a gradient for me was hidden. It's way down here. I'm going to bring that forward so we can play around with that a little bit. You can apply gradient to your stroke. Not advisable. I'm sure it's been used and effectively, but not typically. If you click on the gradient right now, notice, just make sure you do not have your stroke forward. Sorry, does someone need help? We're good? So stroke forward, or fill forward, sorry. Okay? Now, we have a red stroke. Let's go ahead and just change that to black. You can change the color to black here at any time, white or black, right? Let's make it black, and I'm just gonna make it maybe 50% gray. Something like that. Cool. Anywhere near it, okay? Nice. Now, what I wanna do is gradient tool. This is cool, right? We need to make sure we are in fact on. Notice nothing's happening. And this is where people get maybe frustrated with the gradient tool because they don't realize that you have it active, everything's placed, it should work, but we have stroke that has a solid fill right now. Yes, and so it doesn't know what's going on. It can't do anything. We need to make sure that our fill is brought forward. Then you will be able to see the tool work. Really important. Now, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. Ooh, yeah, just like in Photoshop. Well, this is nicer because in Photoshop, when we're using shapes, remember we were limited to the shape tool. This one's a lot more freeform in that I can go in and just play around with it. It's very interactive. This is that animation that was talking about the GPU. This is one of those animation things that kind of shows you as it happens, which is really nice. I'm going to drag this down something like that. Check this out all. You have the ability to adjust right on the fly your slider. See that? If you make that change, notice it'll change up here. Okay. You can grab the overall grade and just move how it interacts with the shape. It will typically center it to that object. What I mean by that is if I grab this and move it over here, it will center it, snap it to center. Neat, eh? It's kind of neat. If you want to get rid of one at any time, meaning one of these sliders, click, drag and drop, or click, drag away. You can add at any time by adding them that way, or by doing it directly on. Can you? Yes, doing it directly on the slider like so. Neat, eh? So if I wanted to grab this, make that a black, make this one a blue, add another one, make that brown. Now we've got instant chrome, right? Really simple. Don't want that. I'm going to take it step back, just bring it back up. Hold down shift at any time. Constrain it, right? So I'm going to go here, just do a nice shift, drag like so. Make it a nice subtle gray. That works really nice. Cool, that's your gradient tool. You can do circular. You can do that free form one that I showed before. You also have the ability to swap how the direction works within a second. Click, click, to the left, to the right. You have the ability to adjust the, this one works more so for, oh, the radial, yes. So again, manually, this is more Photoshop-esque, right? You can manually go in and adjust, say, 135 degree, right? But typically we do it this way, holding shift down, right? 45s, okay? Anyway, it's all good. So I'll do something like that for now, okay? Whew, wow. Click here. Up by your little thing, you have some defaults you can use. Fading sky. This is dangerous. I would highly recommend we even stay away from this. Notice we're into a transparent here. I don't like that. Just keep it to black and white, okay? So there we go, black and white on our fill. Good, this is good, I like it. We're happy with that one, okay? Play around with it, right? You can adjust not only, again, the slider here, what else do we do? You can rotate it this way back and forth, right? You have, I think that's pretty much that. It's pretty intricate, like it's a pretty solid, tool for sure. And what I'm gonna do here, sorry, I'm just gonna drag something like that. Now, that was your gradient tool. We're gonna do it a few more times, but it's kind of fun. Don't be afraid of it, just be subtle with it, as mentioned. Go here, click and drag inward. Instant rounded corners, really important tool. This, Command Y, this will allow us to get right on the money if you're doing rounded corners on an object, okay? This is really neat. Now, not only is it cool that we can do that, but if you go into the white arrow or hit the A key, you can manually select on multiple corners and bring the corners in. So then I could have, say, one going from pointed to curved, like so. Neat, eh? Or select, grab, pull in, and maybe make a slight one, like so. All right? So you have full control over the corner radius. This is one of the best additions they made a few, like probably about 6 years ago or so. Love it, so good, okay? Instant rounded corners. So we really don't need the rounded corners tool anymore. That's here, it's kind of obsolete. I'm waiting for them to get rid of it. Maybe there's purpose for it. Now, let's duplicate that. Yes, so what I wanna do, Command, Option, click, drag down. Another rectangle, yes? Hit the V key. That'll bring up your black arrow, and let's just bring this down. And get it close, Command Y. Make sure we're splitting the difference. Try this with me. Hover over top of one of your sides and hold Option down and drag. Notice how the Option holding down the sides, just like it did with the corners, will constrain a certain length or height. So try to hold Option down and just go inward this way. See that? It'll actually drag to the inside outward on just the length, which is kind of neat. So option, click zoom in, whoop, whoop, right? Zoom in, whoop. Or option, both to center. Really handy, okay? And in this case, again, option, and I'm just gonna get this. Now my guide is getting in the way. This is where command semicolon might be handy. Get rid of it. And that way it won't snap to anything, right? It won't be in your way. And I'm just gonna go split the difference here as mentioned. That's kind of how I do it. If you wanna try it with to the outside or inside, that's totally fine as well. Yes.
When you're dragging this out, you holding command?
No, just option.
Just option, okay.
Yeah, the reason being is we don't need to, when you hover over top, it should automatically give you that arrow. You'll notice that showing up for me, right? So that should be a default for you. You can still hold, yeah, you're right. Because if you hold command down, I happen to be on my black arrow. If I'm over top here and I'm holding command, notice what happens. Oops, it's actually bringing up my white arrow, isn't it? So that's frustrating. So what I think I said for everyone to do is click on the V key, and maybe that was missed. And the V key is your black arrow, sorry. So black arrow, now option, drag in and out, okay? Or I think even if you're on another tool, so I'm on my type tool right now, if I do hold my command and select, and now my type tool is on, yes, that would be when you would use your command option, okay? Sorry to confuse. Did we get that okay, Margarita? Is that a no?
Sorry, that was a yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
No problem. I just want to make sure you're good.
That's good.
All right. So there we go, all good, right? We got that. Now we can still hit the I button and click, okay? Did that change? Ever so slightly, because you'll notice the stroke will change. Whoop, see how it brought it down? They are in fact the exact same stroke width. So I just used the eyedropper to do that to make sure these were identical, at least in their stroke, right? And typically in the grade as well. Now this is interesting. Let's check out. We know we have the same grade. Now if I do I and click, yes, okay. I didn't think it would do that. It doesn't remember direction of the gradient, okay? I was just thinking maybe the new update as of yesterday, maybe does it. So I don't know. All right, we're done. We've got those ready to rock, okay? Let's move on. We're gonna get a sphere, or really just two ellipses, and a T. Okay, let's do this. Is it M? No, it's L. It's the L key. So hit the L key. That'll take you to the ellipse. Try this with me. See if you can't draw an ellipse from center out. Okay, do this with me. Go here. Have your hair lined centered on your sphere, okay? Hold option. Holding down option, you're gonna find it will tell you, you're gonna go from center out. Hey, cool, that's exactly what I want. Start drawing, click and drag. Hey, there it is, right? Check it out with smart guides on it. Actually, it's telling you, you can still hold shift down as you draw out, but it's kind of neat that it's telling you that you're actually, right? In this case, I don't want it to be 100%. The ball was a little bit bounced. So I'm gonna go there, Command Y, Command, black arrow, and let's just manually adjust this. But you can draw from center is what that option key does if you just hold the option key down with the shape on. Notice snap is a pain in the arse right here, right? It's snapping and drawing me bananas because it's trying to snap to different objects and so on. This is where Command U or View, smart guides, turn them off because they're driving me bananas sometimes, especially when you're freeform drawing. Command U, turn them off. And then you'll turn them back on for pretty much anything else, right? But if you're struggling and things are snapping, always have a look here. Snap to point, snap to glyph, snap to grid, guide. This is what's gonna get you, okay? You may accidentally turn one of these on. and you can't figure out why it's snapping all over the place and it's not being nice and smooth for you, it literally could be your Command U or one of these guys, okay? So just kind of call that out. Cool. Now, have a look. Looks good. I was just seeing if that show grid or hide grid doesn't seem to be doing anything. So go here. Let's get rid of our stroke, okay? Try this with me. Hit the X key. Notice, just like in Photoshop, the X key will swap not foreground, background, but stroke and fill. Neat, eh? You're ready for another short key? Because I just love my short keys. The question mark. Yep, you ready? Try this with me. Bring your stroke so it's front. Good. Hit the question mark. Done. Isn't that neat? If you can remember that your X swaps back and forth and your question mark removes, you can in theory, and you're like, dude, seriously? Anyway, thought I'd throw it out there. Here we go. With this on, make sure your fill is bring forward, okay? You can then change this to a grade or a circular grade, okay? Good. Check it out. You have that one, that one. You have edit gradient, yes. Now we have this one again. You can do points and all that fun stuff. Let's not do that. We're just sticking here. Go into our gradient tool here, should be on. And then what I want to do is just do this. I'll do a nice little pulley like that. We'll create a nice bouncy ball. Amazing what one gradient pull will do. It makes such a beautiful orb, right? Now we can move that orb around by selecting. Check it out. That's neat. If you want the light hitting here, if you want the light hitting there. In this case, I'm going to go to the top because the shadow actually is almost straight on down, isn't it? Cool. So we have something like that. If you find that's too stark, you can go in and adjust your, right, to be a gray instead. See that? Notice how it changed to rich black. Look at the difference with rich black to 100% black. Did you see that? Again, there's no backing ink and there's no backing, I know it's not ink, it's digital, but there's no backing color behind. Let me take a step back for a second and show you what I mean. Look at all of these colors that are in our CMYK here. See this? 60, 60, 60, 70. That in theory is ink that's making up these, yeah, anyway, you're like, dude, move on. Don't worry about it. We're going to export into rich black anyway. Let's go to the other ellipse tool. Draw another ellipse. Done. It will take on the last instance that we used. And I want you to make that. I want you to make it crash like that. Shit. Okay, I'm going to stop the video there. Hi, welcome all. I'm glad that just happened. So I'm going to stop.